And good evening and happy Black Friday. This is Steve Ferreira, CEO of Ocean Audit. Such a pleasure to be back as OK Boomer Live tonight. I've been really enjoying my FreightWave show at Navigate B2B, and it's just tremendous to be able to give you a little season's greeting and happy holidays as we get into the, I guess the Christmas spirit. So welcome to an abbreviated edition of OK Boomer Live. And again, I'm Steve Ferreira, CEO of Ocean Audit. Welcome again. Frankly, I don't know how many of you guys are out there tonight. I mean, it's pretty hardcore to go live on LinkedIn at 8:30 on a Friday night, but I figure a lot of you at home or with relatives, perhaps on your mobile devices. So I'm sure you get a kick out of this in terms of, hey, what's this guy doing tonight? And this is my third time on the air today at two FreightWave's beautiful segments, which were home runs. And I thought tonight I would, talk about some subjects of interest to me, not really into the ocean freight game per se, but really visualization concepts I've developed that I think help in the spirit of communication. I think there's a big movement now, according to some of the gurus that I'm working with, some of my coaches. And, we get long text continuously, right? And by reshaping or reformatting or reframing a message, I think you're able to get a more dynamic message across to your client, partner, investment partner, portfolio partner, internal client, whatever they may be. If you look at using the concept of an email that looks like a text, and it's a pretty interesting concept. I was not sure about it. I think the jury was out a little bit for me in terms of I'm just used to writing this, really interesting prose, and because I have, I solved this pain point, I have the solution, how about getting together? And the more I think about it, right, it's a lot of clutter, right, in somebody's inbox. But if you frame it differently, and the way that mind works, this is what I'm told, the mind processes these images, in a very much more of a dynamic way than it does words, and so it causes a little stickiness or tackiness to the objective of whatever the message you're trying to get across. Hey, Ram, it's nice to see you. Glad to see somebody's watching over in Dubai. It's an honor to be broadcasting and have you pick up my content. And also, we're styling a little bit of a new background. We're starting to, thanks to Ethan Allen, starting to get a little bit more creative in some of the flexible backgrounds we'll be using for my various shows. So, it was just the families in the next room, believe it or not, one wall over, putting together the Christmas tree. And so if you hear some screaming and it's like, no, it goes this way, no, it goes that way. It's just my young brood, so to speak, in front of a pretty thin wall. Mental note, improve studio soundproofing. So how are you guys all doing right now? Traveling at relatives, cuddled up on the couch at home in your home cities. Any feedback in the comments before we? Let's do that. Let's just kind of make it a little bit of a chit chat show right now. And I do really want to show you this incredible new communication tool that I'm using. Visuals. I think it's just really cool. I have my great art guy, Sharif, in Egypt, working on them almost 24/7. I believe that perfection is never achieved, but I think that there's a way to tell stories and graphics that help. Hey, Zena, it's nice to see you. How are you? Great. Greetings from the Windy City. Hey, look, this is my third time on. Third time on the air today, so but I really wanted to just showcase my new Ethan Allen decor in the back. We moved the Buddha statue away. We're getting more into some abstract images, and we'll be replacing that little painting there. So Yeah. Zena, how's Lars doing? I hope he's doing okay. He didn't talk to me today. I hope he's cool with me. He's probably just having he's probably so much into his furniture craft tonight that he's down in the basement. But no, you're a great family. Some really cool friends out there in the LinkedIn family. And yeah, I think your OK Boomer is boomed out, but there's something about the topic at hand tonight that I just wanted to come on and show you some of my creativity, because I think as you start to move into more of the B2B lifestyle, right, the persona, I really appreciate FreightWaves for bringing me on as a live performer or as a live host, because I don't want to, I think that it's just so easy to get kind of one-dimensionalized in this business. The sea freight game is it's an old game. It's a game that's long in the tooth, and there's no doubt, I'm part of that tiger's tooth, and I belong there. I've told everyone for years that the number of innovations, other than these digital platforms that come out in sea freight, there really aren't a lot of new critical innovations in the sea freight industry. So it's interesting to work in a world that, or an industry, excuse me, that in some ways is a little bit 70-ish, 80-ish, and I actually had inspiration on it. I designed an oceanfreight.tv. I just bought that domain, so I'll be putting more content on that and my shows and different strategies and ideas for you. But yeah, Ocean Freight TV, and I designed it all in kind of like 60s, really, Woodstock script, and it has some good potential, for the different logo types. And I think that's really something that's really missing a lot in our industry, is that the creativity on logo types and design, and some of the things like using visuals as a supplement or a replacement for emails. Let me jump into a few things that I've been working on. I think you get a kick out of it, and see if I'd like to kind of get the view of the community, whether they think I'm onto something or whether it's too far ahead of its time. Let me screen share with you and show you some of the innovative things that I'm thinking about. So here we have I'll try to make this a little bit bigger here. The best way to do this is how am I going to do this? Right, excuse me. I'm going to click this better and make this bigger. And there you go. Let me go right up to the top. And try to reduce this a little bit. So the first thing I thought about is, ocean freight data, it tends to be kind of leaky, right? It gets picked up and it's kind of manifested all across the internet, and people, importers and beneficial cargo owners, don't necessarily know to what extent their vendor data or PO data is being shared out in the public domain. And so I think that by looking at the data, the data can still tell a story. So the question is, how do you productize not only a service, but something obscure like data, right? So I had the inspiration through the mentors that I've been working with. Is you take Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin is very loud. It's harsh. It's in your face. It's like very it's tense, right? It's all over the map. And then you have Mozart, right, which is more classical. It's follows a specific rule or pattern. It's soothing. And if you look at the border, right, what I try to do here, and it's a little hard to see this, but let's say this is the private space, in here, and then outside this boundary, I'll try to make this smaller, is the there we go, is the public space, right? So somebody sees this topic's proprietary ocean data. Led Zeppelin, I guess, Mozart, right? It's not versus Mozart. It's just two different styles of music. So here, Led Zeppelin, if you're a Zepp and not a Zart, right? It's kind of I think that's pretty cool, right? Don't be a Zepp, be a Zart. But Zeppelin, the data is all over the place, like their music. It's piercing. It will reverberate outside of the sound stage, right? And it goes into the public. It's like saying to Apple Computer, somebody years ago said, hey, we can detect Apple's iPhones from their public data. I don't know. I can't vouch whether that's the case or not, but that's what I'm trying to say here is that there's public data that a CFO or controller definitely doesn't want to see leaked right into the public domain. So if you're like Led Zeppelin, which 90% of BCOs, beneficial cargo owners, are, your data is more at risk, and there's more of a proprietary viewing of your data by, say, Wall Street, hedge funds, other actors, your competitors. But if you're a Mozart and you control the data and you're within that boundary of the private versus the public, you've got a great supply chain system that's pretty well protected, right? So I think the compelling factor here is that you've got maybe a CFO, right? You've got a CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, and you've got logistics people in between. And each one of those has kind of a different master, right? The logistics people have to get the cargo moving in real time in the supply chain, and the CISO might worry about being a Zepp and not a Zart, right? So I don't know, what you think about this. If you think it's a stroke of brilliance or BS, but my feeling is so the email goes like this. It's something like, dear so-and-so, I noticed that, blank company is acting a lot like Zeppelin, and data release is moving into the public domain. Most companies prefer to be more like a Mozart, care for a conversation. So again, I have to craft the message a little better, but that's it. 2 lines, 3 lines max. And it's all designed because the human eye is going to look at this and say, well, there's 2 types of ocean data and some of it's going public. Gee, I hope it's not me. So let's see what you think. Actually, you know what? Let me go back over to the comments just real quick. See if anyone is, nope, no comments on that one. So let me move on to the next illustration, just for fun here. So this one was kind of fun to do. And it plays into today's day and age of imports are on fire, or imports are on fire, right? And you see the old kind of Super Mario image of the container burning. And so it's really kind of a double entendre, so to speak. Yeah, there we go. I just want to make sure you guys are tracking that. And so you could say, hey, Joe, Sam tells us our imports are on fire. And then the other side of the coin is, yeah, they're on fire, but our profits have flamed out. And so the bottom line is that, you have real-time velocity of shipments, but at the same time, who's watching the invoicing and the profitability. And so that's what this is designed to convey. So I thought that was pretty cool. Are your profits? Let's see if anyone can guess the caption on this one. So these are our containers and his little dollar signs embedded in. So, you could say, 12% of landed profits are getting wiped out by the complicated nature of invoicing these days. Is it worth a conversation? I can do a lot better job, giving you the email. I just don't want my competition to potentially steal my idea. It's okay they see this, but I mean, structuring the email is really the key. So this visual is really cool, and I think it talks about just wiping out some profitability in terms of the volatility that we're seeing in the dynamics in ocean freight. I think I only have 2 more. This was cool. This came up today. It was the old kind of 70s ads when I grew up, not to take any kind of narcotics or drugs. So this is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs, right? Where the brain was deteriorating from the drug use of the person. But so it's a twist on it in kind of a fun, positive way, right? So this is your brain, and this is your brain on ocean, meaning that ocean is so complex and causes so much headaches, heartbreak, profit loss, over budget, that it's fully engaged. And perhaps you need somebody on the outside like myself to come provide assistance on evaluating the profitability of invoices. So I really like this one. I can see where it could be a little over the top, but I think done well with the right set of emails, it could be a winner. What do you guys think? And this one was really fun to do. I call this one working capital error identification for ocean freight. Let me see if I can just make this a little smaller. Whoops. And so here you have the legend. Here's a container. Green is where the client identifies, let's say, a defect, an overcharge, and red is where no defects identified. So if you kind of look at a grid of whatever this is, 100 containers, I don't know, 10, 12 are never identified, a few are identified, and then the rest are clean and there's no problem. I think this speaks very well. I don't know about the skull icon, maybe a red X. I don't know if people would be more sensitive to the skull overtone, but I know skulls and those kind of icons are so-called cool, right, these days. At least the kids tell me. I don't mean my kids, I mean the millennials and the Gen X guys out there. So, but I thought this was a good way to tell a story, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it, of course. And on the replay, I'm sure people will have some good comments. And then probably that was that's as far as I got today in terms of developing. Oh, sorry, there was one more. Let's see if I can share this one. This was actually a real good one. I have to cancel that out, and I have to stop the sharing. Oh, okay. Now I'll share the last one. It's pretty cool. It's an interesting one. See if I can pull it off. Here it is here. If I minimize it, I think I can do it for you guys. They say leave the best for last. We'll see what you guys think. Make it happen. Make it happen. I did. I can pull it off. Okay. So here we go. This was really an interesting one. So it's an animated one. Should be. I don't see the animation. What do we do wrong here? Let's try one more time. I hear Christmas music from the next room. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's pretty cool. And one more time. Come on here. Nope. Let me try one more. I'm not sharing, right? I just want to make sure I don't put on the Declaration of Independence here for you guys to see all my stuff. Okay, here we go. I think I can do this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's make this work. You got to see this. This is really one I'm proud of. Okay, I think we got to share this one. Okay. I think it's going to work. Let me share this screen. This is the last one, guys. Then you can get back to your family time. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Here we go. It's not going to work. Look at that. Oh, wait. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I got it. Watch the screen, guys. It's supposed to be a Pac-Man comes to eat all the overcharges, but it's not running. I'm doing a kind of automatic run. You see it spend consumed by billing error. I'm doing kind of an automatic thing here. And then it flashes a spend should not be sacrificed worth a convo. So it's kind of good. I mean, these things on animating versus just a static image, it's much better to use a static image because of, obviously email security. If you're doing this on LinkedIn, it has a little bit more legs to it. But those are some of the things I'm working on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I have so much fun with this stuff. It's amazing. And want to wish you a great weekend. I'll be back in touch. I'm not sure when our next OK Boomer show is, but we're back on Freightwaves TV next Friday. And that'll be 9:30. Guests to be advised, and want to wish you all well and have a great evening. Thanks so much for tuning in, and love you guys. Cheers.